So yes, our mission is to create a network of individuals that are financially secure and are living their ultimate dream lives. Individuals that inspire each other to make millions and to make a difference. And our weekly training sessions are exactly that, where we inspire each other, where we motivate each other to make those millions. So getting into our declarations, you are more than welcome to join us. You can read them out loud, and I'm going to stay muted so that we don't disturb each other, but I will stay on so that you can hear me saying my declarations. We start like this because, as I said, we believe in the power of the spoken word. We speak good things into our lives. We speak our desires. Just like, you know, in the Bible, the Lord spoke things into being. So we are going to speak things into being as well. So we can start with our declarations. I can have as much money as I desire. I will have as much money as I desire. I choose to have as much money as I desire. I have as much money as I desire. I love having as much money as I desire. I create as much money as I desire, and I enjoy as much money as I desire. Okay, that is one. The next one is that it is very important that we say this. We say them daily. You can say them twice a day because we believe in this power of this spoken word, right? We are building a business and we want this to manifest. I attract self-motivated doers and leaders into my business. I attract positive-minded people to me. I attract people who fit perfectly with my business. I am committed to reaching my business goals. I have a successful, growing network marketing business. I am a great business leader, and I'm creating a team culture of support and hard work. Okay, so that is how we start. And for those who have read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, you will know that there's a part where he speaks about auto-suggestions, where he says that if we keep saying things to ourselves, suddenly things happen to line up to what you are saying. It's all about, I'm just please can you stay muted unless sorry, I think mute for. I have muted everyone, and no one is able to unmute themselves. If you do want to say something, I see somebody has got their hand up. You can put your hand up and then we'll call you on to speak, or you can put it in the chats. I'll be manning the chats. Dineo, my business partner, will also be manning the chats, and we will respond. And where you're asking Dr. Lesego something, we will also interrupt where needed for, or she will also pause at some point asking for questions, okay? So going back to Napoleon Hill, if you have not read the book Think and Grow Rich and you are in this business, I suggest you go and read it. And if you want the audio version as well, I've got that. You can just ask me and I'll WhatsApp that to you. Okay, so this is one thing that he has. I have put this one together for myself, and it's just a guideline because I think each and every one of us should have this, and it helps you, it guides you, it leads you, it creates that auto-suggestion that will come automatically, and it will start aligning things up for you and allowing you to move in a space in alignment with what you want to achieve. Right, so this is it. Where I've put the stuff in orange, that is where you would put in what is relevant for you. Right, and I will show you how I've put mine together. You can copy it as is if you want, or adjust it based on what you want to achieve. So basically, this is how it goes. I choose, and I say this every morning and every evening, I choose to easily attract a minimum of, you say how much you want to attract each month, and note that I said I choose to easily. Nothing should be a struggle for us, isn't it? Okay, so I choose to attract a minimum of so much each month by this date, and I will do so by doing something. You have to do something for this to happen. There must be an action from your side. Even with these declarations, if you don't take any action, nothing's going to happen, right? So you must see the thing that you are going to do and receiving money from unexpected sources. And this money will, what do you want this money to do for you? Put that in. And then my faith is so strong that this money will be in my possession. And you must say this with passion. It must be believable. It must invoke emotions in you, right? Okay, my faith is so strong that this money will be in my possession. I can now see it with my eyes and I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me in the proportion that I deliver the service that I intend to render. You still have to do something. There must be action from you. Okay. that I intend to render in return for it, I have put together a plan and I have started executing it. You know, when I first did this and I put that part that says I've put together a plan and I've started executing it, and I thought, but Megs, you don't have a plan, you know. But the more I said this, suddenly I find myself doing things that show that I actually do have a plan, you know, so it does align with you. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. I hope I'm still connected because I've just switched from generator. I hope I'm still connected. Okay, so now this is mine with the words filled in. You can copy it, make it screenshot, whatever, change it the way you want to change it. This is me. This is what I say every day. I choose to easily attract a minimum of 60,000 rands each month by the 31st of December 2022. I will do this by giving my gifts to humanity, to my community, promoting financial health, physical health, and mental health, and receiving money from unexpected sources. This money will supplement my current income and will meet my current financial needs and lead me into total financial freedom. My faith is so strong that this money will be in my possession. I can now see it with my eyes and touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me in the proportion that I deliver the service that I intend to render in return for it. I have put together a plan and I've started executing it. Okay, so that is how we start our session. Having said that, I am ready for Dr. Lesego. Doc, are you ready for me? Where is she? Have we still got Dr. Lesego in the house? Hey, but people, if Dr. Lesego is not here, I'm in trouble because
I am here. I am here.
oh, there she is. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Lesego. It is really an honor to be here with you. As I said, this is an empowerment session. We've got 61 people waiting to understand our product. Longreach is a vehicle that we are using as that tool that is going to help us to achieve our financial freedom. So thank you so much for giving your time, giving your knowledge. I admire how you teach. I admire how you share. I admire your passion for helping, your passion for being a servant. This is part of servanthood. And thank you, Doc. Over to you. And I will be manning the chats, and I may stop you here and there when I see that the questions are piling up. I'm sure you will appreciate the questions as they come along. Over to you, Doc. Is Doc here? Okay, she was there. Okay, let me try her again. Oh, she just got disconnected. She's struggling with her network. See, she's just sent me a message that says, okay. In the meantime, I think we can all just, okay. Someone wants the audio version. Okay, I can send the audio version to you. I will keep that. Okay, let's just give Doc a second. In the meantime, if I can just get 1 or 2 people, I won't pick load shedding interruption. Oh, okay. She's going through what I went through. We just reconnected to, we stay in the same area. So we just reconnected to the main ESCOM line and she's that. So as we're waiting, let me just unmute everyone. I need, or put your hand up if anybody wants to share her journey when she started with Longreach or when he started with Longreach and what you want to achieve out of this session. If we've got someone who is willing to share that, otherwise I'm going to session. Do we have anybody who is willing to share that with us as we wait for Doc? What do you want to achieve from this session? Can I choose someone? Naftali, I've seen you in every session that we've got. I'm going to unmute you and ask you to please come forward and just give a brief intro of who you are, how long you've been in the business, and what you want to achieve from this session as we wait for Doc. Oh, there's Sylvia. Sylvia wants to say something. All right. Sylvia, you can go ahead. Let me just make sure that you can unmute yourself. Okay, I'm just going to get you to be able. Sylvia, you can go ahead. You can unmute yourself and give it an intro.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Sylvia.
Good morning in Longreach. Whilst we are waiting for Dr. Lesego, I want to say thank you for this opportunity and for allowing us to join this training session. Dr. Lesego is somebody I've been following since I joined Longreach in June 2019.
Wow.
So 3 years in the business, and I'm currently a Diamond 7.
Awesome.
And I believe I got to where I am now because I followed leaders such as yourself, Dr. Lesego, Vivian Mokome, attending trainings and doing exactly what they tell us to do.
Yeah.
So I'm here today with some members of my team, and we are here to learn. We know Dr. Lesego is an authority on the products. So yes, we are here and we just want to say thank you. And the journey so far has been awesome. It hasn't been easy, but just as we are taught all the time, you need to know your products. Then you can open your mouth comfortably or confidently to talk about it. The business is a very solid company. Longreach is a solid global conglomerate. The products are awesome, but you cannot sell the products if you don't know the products.
Yes, absolutely.
So thanks for the opportunity, and we are here for the cruise. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. And is there anybody else who'd like to add on to what Sylvia said? Otherwise, I'm going to go on to speak my things because I can talk. Right. So as we hear, I think I just want to share a bit as well as we're waiting for Lesego, just to share a bit on us appreciating what we have in the business model that we have. A lot of people are struggling in this business. I got a message from someone. It's a pity I lost the number in the chat. If she's in here, she can just resend in the chat, then I can get the number. That they're in the business, they've been selling toothpaste and they are now stuck with recruiting. And what I teach in my team and what we are striving for in our team is really not on being salespeople, because when we become salespeople, people get stuck in selling. There are people who can naturally, my lighting is very bad, it makes me look grayish. Okay, there are very few people who are born salespeople. And I don't want people who are in this business to really feel that they cannot do it because they are not salespeople. Network marketing is not designed to be a sales business. That's why it's called multi-level marketing. It is meant to be us making a whole lot of money by creating a network of individuals that are moving product, but only a small group. So if you think about it, you want to be, when you think about this, what is better? Having 100 people putting 1% effort in moving a product, or having one person, that being you, putting 100% effort in moving the product? Clearly, what is better is the 100 people doing the 1%, right? I'm not saying to you, go out and get 100 people. That's not what this is about, but it's about creating a network of people that are all moving product a little bit. If you are that person that says, I can't sell, you don't have to be a salesperson in this business. But if you understand the power of these products, if you attend the trainings, if you tune into Longreach TV, and you appreciate that, you know what the product does, you will find out that there is over 2,000 products, right? You must find those products that work for you as an individual, right? And then you can just be the consumer of the product. And all you need to do is get other consumers of the products. And where do you go looking for these people? People say, I don't know a lot of people, Max. You don't have to know a lot of people. You just need to know people that want to change their lives. This is what this is about. It's not about trying to, oh, Dr. Lesego is here, so she's probably saying to me, can you just cut it because you're eating into my time? Okay, so, but just to encourage somebody out there, you don't have to be a salesperson. Look for like-minded people, people who are saying, we absolutely want to change their lives. Create a small group of those people. Let them also find similar people, and you all just use the products in your home. And you are on the way. You don't. So what that means is that Longreach will be moving the product through who? Through you guys doing what? Using them in your home. And a whole lot of product is going to move, which means a whole lot of PVs are coming under you. And that's how you grow your business without being a salesperson. Over to you, Dr. Lesego. Let me not take up your time. Let me make you co-host so that you are able to share your slides. I'm just gonna make Doc co-host. All right, Doc, over to you. You are co-host now. And we can see your slides.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, everyone. The new people, old faces. It's such a great time to be back in the business. I had to take a little bit of a break so that I could focus on some projects, but I'm glad it's over. And now I'm back in the business with Maggie Mulutsi, one of the most amazing trainers in the network marketing industry. And Maggie, thank you so much for such an introduction, such a powerful declaration, really much appreciated. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time. I'm not sure if my video is on.
Your video is not on, but
let me see, I'm going to try to switch it on, but I might have to switch it off just in case the quality of the signal drops, because sometimes it happens. Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Oh, so good to see you.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yes. Yeah, so I'm just going to shoot straight into the presentation, but just before I do, I just want to make a note to everyone that listen here. I am very passionate about health. That's my primary, that's what gives me energy in this business. And TD Jake says that in life, you need to find something that gives you energy. And really, that's what you need to engage or to put all your efforts in, because what gives you energy is really what fuels you in life. So products and health is really what fuels me in life. So a lot of us, we want to escape our situation. Our situations are completely different. Some of us want, to buy a better car. Some want to send our children to better schools. Some just want to be in a situation where we can live, from paycheck to paycheck without having to squeeze ourselves, through the month. I did share on my Facebook page the latest survey that was released by FNB, where they reported that about 80% of the middle class, they have their salaries depleted within the 5 days after earning their income. So you can really see that a lot of the middle class are spending, like they go throughout their month, just trying to make need ends. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we refer to as poverty. And that means if all that you have, if whatever that you have if your job could be taken away from you, the question is, will you be able to sustain the life that you are still living in? If you can't, then you can consider yourself poor. It might not just be your job, but it could just be any source of finance that you have. If it were to be taken away from you, will you still be able to live the life that you are living today? So tonight is really all about talking about, or giving you a platform that can help you escape your poverty, a platform that will help you ensure that you don't have to worry about, living from paycheck to paycheck and having to squeeze, the very last cent that you have so that it can last you until the end of the month, so that you can live a comfortable life, your children can live a comfortable life. So here is the problem that we have, is that unfortunately, our salaries do not grow. If anything, recently, some people have had salary cuts. A lot of people have lost their jobs. And the cost of living has really skyrocketed. The other day, I went to a grocery store to buy some groceries, and I was quite shocked at, the amount that I had to pay. And I mean, it was on items that I was used to buying, but by the time I got to the cashier and, I was 100% sure that I was going to pay a certain amount. And it was, it was quite a shock when I actually realized that the prices have gone significantly high. And I wondered, how are other people coping, in these difficult times? it's not just, you know, the price of food or bread, but fuel has also made life extremely difficult for us. You know, if you are in business and, you know, you do a lot of traveling, you find that, you know, you are being squeezed, you know, to the very last cent. More and more people are having to spend a lot of money just to go to work. You know, the children, the school kids are going to go back to school soon, and obviously transport is going to go a little bit higher because of the price of petrol that has gone up. You know, but unfortunately, as these things grow, our salaries do not. You know, you might move from one job to the other, but unfortunately, how life works is that the more money you earn, the more debts you accumulate. You know, if you earn a little bit more, then you want to buy a better car. Someone is unmuted. And you know, and so forth. So that's a problem with, you know, the life that we are living, is that our salaries cannot meet, you know, our debt, if I may put it that way, our living expenses. And so many of us have dreams. You know, we dream of having a better life. But unfortunately, we are scared. We are being presented with endless opportunities on a daily basis, but we are scared. We are living in our little cocoon, our little shell. You know, we are scared, you know, to grab opportunities such as this, because, you know, we're still living, you know, in our comfort zone. Perhaps your job is a comfort zone, perhaps your source of finance is a comfort zone, and in as much as you know that you've got all these dreams, you would rather just, you know, sit in the comfort zone, because when you are shy, you don't have a large network and so forth. But unfortunately, for you to achieve all these dreams that you have, you're going to have to break out. And that's what Eric War says, that for us to achieve our dreams, we have to break out of our comfort zone. And your comfort zone can be anything. Your personality can be a comfort zone. You know, it's a little reason why you cannot, you know, participate or grab opportunities such as network marketing, because you are shy. You know, people are rejecting you. And, you know, there could be a couple of things that you need to deal with in order to make it. And you've kind of like made those excuses a comfort zone. And unfortunately, if you carry on like that, you will never be able to live a life of your dreams. Now, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Even biblically, there's a scripture that says, do not put what you can do today and postpone it to tomorrow, because tomorrow has got its own cares. You know, we are sitting here because we are passionate about network marketing. We are passionate about assisting individuals to escape their poverty. We are passionate about sharing these opportunities with you. But unfortunately, the decision is on you. You are the one who has to make a decision to jump, you know, out of your comfort zone and really grab these kinds of opportunities. And don't wait until tomorrow, because then tomorrow you would have accumulated, trust me, you would have accumulated 1,000 reasons why you cannot be part of network marketing. So by the end of the presentation, I'm hoping that if you are not a member yet, you would make a decision to join us and really change your life. I mean, I am still sitting here today as a beneficiary of Longreach. My life has taken a complete turn after joining Longreach, after committing. Y'all know how committed I am to this business. And today I stand because it's my way of giving back. I mean, imagine after all that I have benefited from network marketing, and I still have the nerve or the liver to just walk away. You know, I can't, because I feel that I am indebted to the next person whose life can be emancipated through this opportunity. So, you know, just to encourage any person that has never or has been doubtful, please jump ship. When I joined Longreach, I never ever thought that it could change my life the way it did. And I am sitting here today because I have you know, other stuff that I would like to achieve. I'm not sitting here, you know, just to pass time, but it's because I've got goals, I've got dreams, and I strongly and I still believe that I can achieve those dreams through network marketing or through Longreach. Now, Longreach is a business that is focused on health. And in terms of focusing on health, it's not just health, but also on wealth. So it starts with wealth, but the vehicle is health products. And we have, as Maggie has already mentioned, over 2,000 products that are manufactured by Longreach. And we are so lucky to be working with a company that manufactures the products. I've been fortunate enough to travel to China, to the manufacturing plant and to see really what goes on behind the scenes. And I mean, the products that we're selling in South Africa are not even close to the capacity that Longreach has as a company. Their products are reputable. They have a postdoctoral center where PhD students become part of research and development. So products are thoroughly investigated, are thoroughly patented. So that means that what we are supplying as distributors are products that we are 100% sure that they will be of no harm to individuals. So the products are classified into 5 full categories. We've got health products, we've got energy products, we have beauty products, and we also have weight loss products. But tonight, I'm gonna talk about the sanitary pad, and this is what made me a multimillionaire in Longreach, the sanitary pad. I remember when I first heard about Longreach, I went for a presentation. I was with SD Vivian. She's actually the one who did the presentation for me. And it just made sense to me. All I needed to do was just to go and do further research to make sure that what is being said about the product, it is the case. And I mean, your passion will take you far in life. If you know what your passion is and you draw all your energy from it, you will never ever fail in life. Now, there are certain facts about a woman, and women cannot ignore this. If you are part of Longreach, you need to educate yourself about these kinds of things. I often get people say, oh, I tried to sell a sanitary pad, and the person that I was talking to said, they need to go and ask so-and-so and so forth. That means that the distributor failed to position the product in such a way that the client or the prospective client could buy the value proposition. Now, you need to make it as simple as possible. That's the bottom line. I often talk about secondary and primary benefits. Now, tonight we're going to talk about the primary benefits of the sanitary pads. The reason why I talk about primary benefits is because people have spoken about secondary benefits to prospective clients and they ended up getting confused. If you're going to tell someone that the pad is going to help them fall pregnant, that's a secondary benefit. It's not a primary benefit. And you need to make sure that you've got your facts together. If you're going to talk about, the pad is going to help get rid of fibroids, you have to have your facts. You have to be able to explain the whole process. So tonight, I just want us to walk out of this presentation with the basic understanding of the primary benefits of the sanitary pads. That's what we need to educate people about. And like I said in my introduction, it all boils down to health. If you are a woman and you care about your health, you'd definitely be interested in Longreach sanitary pads. Now, facts. A woman, when she's on her menstrual cycle, will struggle with itching. She'll have a swollen vulva, which is the outer part of the vagina. It becomes swollen. That's a fact. Other symptoms include cervicitis, and that is the inflammation of the cervix, or vaginitis. There could be an inflammation of the vagina when they're on the period. Some women would suffer from increased volume or heavy menstrual flow. Some women would have lower abdominal pain because of the period, because of the inflammation. Some women will even have headache. I know women, and especially young girls, who would vomit when they are on the period. A girl loses can lose up to 14, got my numbers a little bit confused, but a lot of girls have lost out on school because of menstrual or menstruation. The menstrual problems are so severe that it prevents them from attending school. Some it's because of heavy flow, some is because of menstrual pain or low abdominal pain. And as a result, a girl child will choose to rather stay at home and nurse that pain. Now, Longreach has come and really educated us about why we have been struggling with this. I've got a 16-year-old. She started going on her period about 1.5 years ago, and she started using Longreach sanitary pad. I once asked her to do an experiment for me and use, any other menstrual pads that are available. And she said to me, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put myself through that. Not after all that I know about the sanitary pad. So for me, it means that my daughter really has seen the benefit of the pad, and she is so educated. She takes her health so serious that she is not willing to expose herself to whatever else is available in the market. So part of the reason why China, I was studying, part of the reason, and there are lots and lots of articles that are coming from China, lots of research that's coming from China. And part of the reason this is happening is because China is one of the overpopulated countries in the world. And because of that, you can imagine if people were to get sick, the health system will crash overnight. And that's the reason why they have invested so much into prevention or preventative care. They're more about, finding out what are the causes of female reproductive diseases and what can they do to prevent them. If it has to do with cancer, they're at the forefront investigating what are the causes of cancer so that they can prevent, their people from getting cancer. And that's what really China is all about. That's how they are managing to grow, and that's how they're managing to make sure that everyone is fully focused on preventative care. Health care is extremely expensive. I have at least a couple of individuals that I'm interacting with, very close to me, been diagnosed with cancer, and some I've been with them through the process, assisting them through the hospital admission and all of that. And trust me, I've had to walk the path of a patient. I've always known how it is, but having to walk with a close relative, and walking with them through this process, just right up until they get to oncology, it's extremely painful. They're quite lucky because, things are a little bit faster, but I just had to take a step back and imagine how things would have been if I wasn't there. Now, when it comes to diseases of the female reproductive system, what Longreach has been able to establish is that there are poorly manufactured sanitary pads, and these pads are the reason for the many gynecological diseases that we have as women. I mean, being a mother who suffered from gynecological issues, I had cysts, I had issues with my menstrual flow, I had miscarriages. Fortunate enough, I never had fibroids, I never had endometriosis, but I've had a fair share of my own gynecological problems. Now, what are some of these causes of these gynecological diseases? Now, what Longreach has been able to establish through their research is that the sanitary napkins that we are using, some of them are manufactured in environments that are damp. Some of the packaging that is used is not airtight. So that means that there isn't 100% protection from bacteria or any viruses that could be in the environment. The environments are not properly sterilized. The sanitary napkins that we even have, a lot of them in the market are not impermeable to air. That means there is no flow of air in and out. And you will see with the long reach sanitary napkin, as I demonstrate to you the different layers, that the pads are breathable. Now, there's a survey that was conducted by the World Health Organization in 2012, and according to the survey, about 62% of the diseases that women have are due to the poor quality sanitary napkins that are available in the market. I mean, I have tried different sanitary napkins in the market. I'm pro, my own experiments. I want to see what this one has, what it does, what reaction will I get. And I must say it's quite appalling what women are using out there. And if you are a woman and you love yourself and you really care about your health, there's absolutely no way that someone will stand in front of you and tell you about a sanitary napkin that has actually been manufactured to help prevent the many diseases that we currently are suffering from, that you would walk away and say, oh no, I think I'm okay with that. I think there has to be something wrong with you. Now, so talking about 62% of the gynecological problems that we have, if we were to put it in simple terms, it means 6 out of 10 diseases that women have. That's quite a high number. So it means that if we are to now change from the sanitary napkins that we're using, we could bring down the number significantly. And there is a national quality control department in China. They've also conducted a sampling or survey of napkins, and they found that up to or over 50% of those products did not meet the quality standards. And those are the products that are available in the market. Those are the products that you and I are using. Remember, anything that's produced at mass production will always have issues. Now, let's quickly look into the next slide. So this slide is just to show or to demonstrate the absorption from the long reach sanitary napkin. So if you look on the left, that's a brand M, and on the right, it's a brand, I can't read that because of the screen, I'm just going to lower it a little bit, because of brand W. So the Superb Clean, the long reach sanitary napkin, is the one that's in the middle. So on this, they poured about 50 mils of water on the sanitary napkin with some ink, just for demonstration purposes. And you can see that with the long reach, the same quantity of water, that there is 100% absorption. I mean, ladies, I don't know if there are any gents in the house, but I'm going to have this conversation with ladies. And I'm having this conversation with you so that you can go and have the exact conversation with another lady. We do know, I've used the old sanitary napkin. We do know they don't absorb 100%, and the main issue is that when a woman is on her period, the fear is standing up and having a leakage. We do know the sanitary pads that we've used, or that some of you are still using, there are major issues with leakage. You really have to be extra careful. My daughter plays netball, and I remember the one time she was playing netball, and then she told me that she was on a period, and I was like, but you've been playing netball without any issues. And she said, that's how great these sanitary napkins are. I mean, I know when I was her age and I started seeing my period, quite shy, quite timid, just keeping to myself, suffering through abdominal pains until today. And I'm talking about a year and a half later, my daughter doesn't know what menstrual pains are because I started her on the correct sanitary napkin. Now, let me quickly talk about the dangers of the sanitary napkins that we have. I'm not really sure what is it that I have done, but I think my slide has disappeared. Okay, there. So let me quickly talk about the dangers of the sanitary napkins that we have, right? So just going back to the previous slide about the 50% of the, over 50% of the napkins that do not meet the quality standard. Now, part of the reason why you have some leakage on brand W and brand M, not leakage, but rather absorption, is because the sanitary pads have cotton wool, right? Cotton wool is not meant to absorb. Cotton wool holds. That means that if you apply pressure, whatever that the cotton wool was holding, it will release. So that's a reason why if you are a lady and you are on your period and you have quite a heavy flow, once you sit, as you stand up, that's when you will see an oopsie because the cotton wool was just holding. As soon as you apply pressure, it starts to release the menstrual blood. That's the number one issue. Now, because of that, then now you have menstrual blood sitting on the sanitary pad. Now, what we know is that with blood, in about 2-3 hours, fungus and bacteria starts to build up. And that's why after a little bit of time, you start finding that, you know, there's a little bit of a smell. And that also has to do with the environment that the menstrual blood creates. It's a warm environment, it's dark, and with bacteria or fungus multiplication, there are major issues that are related to absorption. So I normally try to help ladies understand how we are anatomically structured, how we are made. Now, the vaginal lining is quite thin, and in being thin, it's quite sensitive. It absorbs easily. So just imagine a case where there's menstrual blood, right, that you've had for about 3 hours, and then there's some fungus that have started developing. Where does it all go? Because the cotton wool did not absorb, it was just holding it. Now, as you are sitting, it's just sitting there, right? Where it all goes is that the vaginal lining absorbs it, and then it just travels up the female reproductive system, and that's where all the problems begin. So our anatomical makeup disadvantages us. Now, the second issue is that with the cotton wool that is white, that absorbs, cotton wool is not entirely white initially, right? The other issue is that that cotton wool has been processed. It has been bleached. And when it gets bleached, we wear cotton wool that has this bleach. And where does it all go again? Up the reproductive system. Another thing is that it is sometimes mixed with pulp. And in manufacturing pulp, there is a byproduct when pulp is being manufactured. And this byproduct is called dioxin. Now, dioxin is a molecule that exists. You can find it anywhere. You can find it in plastic, you can find it in meat, in fish, and so forth. But the issue with dioxin is that when it gets absorbed, it stays in the body over years. And with this dioxin, it has been found to cause miscarriages in women, children that are born with birth defects, and other gynecological problems. So if you are a woman and you are educated, you do know that you are using a sanitary napkin that possibly has paper pulp that has this byproduct called dioxin, and it can lead to a couple of health issues. Why would you carry on using the sanitary pad that you're currently using if you know that it's going to cause problems? I've shared my personal story. I've had about 4 miscarriages, and when I found out about the sanitary napkin that I had been using for years, and I found out about this dioxin and how it could have possibly, of course, there are many reasons why women will have a miscarriage, but you always look at all these factors in trying to make sense of it. And having an understanding that another woman could possibly have a miscarriage due to dioxin, why would I keep quiet about that? Why would I? And that's what has made me successful in this business. Now, remember, if you have dioxin sitting on the pad, a woman wears how many sanitary napkins throughout her lifespan? Over hundreds of thousands, right? And that is equals to the number of times that you are exposing your body to this deadly chemical called dioxin. It's not dioxin only, it's bleach, and also the fungus that develops as a result of the menstrual blood that sits over time. Now, if you know all of this, why would you carry on using this sanitary napkin? It's purely because we just do not understand the consequences. Now, dioxin can also lead to some certain types of cancer. Listen here, if you don't know anyone that has died of cancer, if you don't have a relative that's been diagnosed with cancer or suffered from cancer or died from cancer, you are very, very, very fortunate. You really are, because more and more people are being diagnosed with all sorts of cancers, all different types of cancers. We do have a family friend that's lying in hospital due to cervical cancer. And it's a bad thing. And if you know that all these things, all these chemicals are things that we're exposing our bodies to, why would we carry on using these sanitary napkins? Now, what makes Longreach unique is that the sanitary pads are made out of purely 100% material. They do not use any material that is being recycled. They do not use any material that is detrimental to our health. I mean, if you look at the top layer, it's quite soft. I normally say, if you have the Longreach sanitary napkin, now go grab your old sanitary napkin and a new napkin. Pour water over the two napkins and notice the velvetish feel that you get on the Longreach sanitary pad. If you look at the opposite, some you will actually realize that the top layer is plastic. All you need to do is just to remove the top layer and stretch it out. If it stretches out, you do know that it's plastic. And ladies, if we wear plastic over time, it can lead to issues such as itchiness. That's why most of us suffer from itchiness. It's because of that plastic. And at high temperatures or increased temperatures, plastic has a bad habit of releasing its chemical composition. And like I said, ladies, if we understand that our anatomical makeup is what disadvantages us before anything else, that we are at a disadvantage because of how we are made, it means that it is our responsibility to ensure that we do not expose our vaginas to these deadly chemicals. Right. Now, the most important layer, I'll skip layer 2 and go straight to layer 3. Layer 3 is comprised of magnetic energy as well as far infrared energy. I will talk a little bit more about these energies when I talk about the alkaline cup in the next weeks. But tonight I want to emphasize on the N-ion, which is an extremely important molecule. N-ion is actually an ion, a negatively charged ion that exists in the atmosphere. High levels are found in the forest. They're also found in at sea level, and the levels start to deplete when we move into an industrial area. When ion combines, or N-ion rather, when it combines with oxygen, it helps with transportation of oxygen. We have N-ion in our bodies. Now, if you wear a sanitary napkin that releases N-ion, and remember, it's all about the anatomical structure. The sanitary napkin, once it comes into contact with your skin, the magnetic energy and the far infrared, as well as the N-ion, that N-ion gets released and your body starts absorbing it. Your vagina lining starts absorbing it. That's where the anatomical makeup gives us an advantage. Now, anion travels throughout the body, and what it does is it has got the ability to reduce inflammation. Secondly, anion can also reduce smell. So if you are a lady and you're struggling with smell, it could just be purely because of previous hygiene challenges, or just purely that you have a smelly vagina or smelly discharge. What you can do is wear the sanitary, not the sanitary pad, but rather the napkin. Anion has also the potential to absorb smell. And that's why, if you were to compare the long reach pad and a standard pad, what you will notice is that if you're wearing a long reach pad, it does not smell, or the menstrual blood does not smell as much as if you are using a normal pad, where you will start having a stinky smell in about 2.5 hours after wearing it. So why would you carry on using that if you've got something that's as comfortable as this superb clean sanitary pad? So the anion gets absorbed into the body, it travels through via the bloodstream, and where there is an inflammation, it helps with reducing inflammation. Anion has also been found to make the process of healing faster. It is effective in wound healing, and it can also help with young girls who have terrible PMS, by helping to regulate some of the hormones associated with PMS. So if you were to look at anion, it has got overall benefit. It's not just for the menstrual for menstruation, but also it's got benefits for our own health. It helps with transportation of oxygen in our body, and therefore it makes sure that our cells are oxygenated. So major benefits. There are people who suffer from joint pains, who suffer from, general pain. I mean, I use anion. I've got an 11-year-old who every now and then would get an injury. And all I do is just to remove the anion strip from the panty liner, turn it upside down, use it as a sticker, and I stick it on. The next day, the pain is completely gone. So like I said, it makes the process of healing faster. Now, in combination with the magnetic and far infrared, what the energies do is that they help with secretion from the womb. So with being on a period, not everything gets secreted. Sometimes just before you get on your period, that first flow that comes could actually be old blood coming from the previous period. Now, there are certain women who have certain infections that are lying in the uterus. And we have seen that as soon as they start using the panty liner, they would, in certain instances, complain of abdominal pains in the first 3 or 5 days, and some can even notice some change in their discharge, that it might have some, funky odor, and also that it might change in color from, yellowish or greenish. That's just to show that you could have had an infection, and now the far infrared and magnetic energy help with secretion of such from the uterus. I mean, that's quite a major benefit. The other benefit is that the energies help with increasing the acidity of the vaginal secretions. And by so doing, it destroys bacteria that lies within the vaginal wall. So as the secretion go down and are secreted, I don't want to use an incorrect term. They just help destroy, I wanted to say they clean the vagina, but they help with destroying any bacteria because of the acidity. They help with destroying any bacteria that could be in the vaginal lining. And by so doing, it helps improve your vaginal hygiene. So why would we not want to use the sanitary napkin? Unless, of course, we do not understand these major benefits. Now, let's also talk quickly about the permeable bottom layer. So if you have your sanitary pad, you can just remove, remove the paper, and you will see, if you look at the bottom part of it, it's got tiny, 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 tiny holes. And that also ensures that there is a flow of air in and out. And that at the same time helps with reducing or minimizing odor. So ladies, we have a powerful product. If you're going to be in a product-driven business, you have to ensure that you understand your product. So I'm just going to quickly recap on the sanitary napkin. The first thing is that N-iron is antibacterial because it destroys up to 99% of bacteria. So that means that instead of having a pad with menstrual blood that sits for 2 to 3 hours, I mean, some people, some ladies wear or use their sanitary pad for longer than 3 hours, longer than 2 hours. Now you have the N-iron that continually destroys bacteria from building up, improves your health. Also, the N-iron helps with, it's got anti-inflammatory properties. Remember earlier, I said, if you know facts, the facts are that women or a symptom of, the menstrual or the menstruation complications will be inflammation of the vagina and also inflammation of the cervix. So again, the N-iron will help with that. It eliminates odor, it improves metabolism, and it enhances immunity. And again, with N-iron, it actually also helps with relieving stress. So there are quite a lot of benefits that you are getting from the sanitary pad. It's not just about a pad that absorbs or a pad that reduces menstrual pain, but we can look at the scientific background of some of the properties of the sanitary pad. So the N-iron will remain active for about 4 to 5 hours. And that's why we have young girls who will wear the sanitary pad for about 5 hours without experiencing any issues. And really, this is all about taking care of yourself. And we have to start early. Our children, our young girls cannot be using any other sanitary napkin. And remember, the most important thing is that we also want to contribute towards reducing the percentage of gynecological diseases that are caused by the improper sanitary napkins that are available in the market. I mean, for some of us that in certain areas, I've been to one certain area and I went to the shop to buy sanitary napkins that I needed to use for a presentation. And I could tell immediately that it was a counterfeit. Like, just to put it, was a counterfeit of always. So you can just imagine how bad that would be, that no proper care has been taken. It was just all about mass production, exposing women to all these dangerous chemicals that are, now putting us at a risk of cancer, putting us at a risk of miscarriages, putting us at a risk of many other issues that women are suffering from. If you are a mother and you love your child, you cannot not get them to use the long-reach sanitary napkin. Get them to understand what menstrual health is about. And like I'm saying, my daughter is a living proof. She refuses to use anything else. She understands the benefit of the sanitary napkin. She only hears from her friend that there's something called menstrual pain. So some individuals can continue having menstrual pain, and purely because of the long-term effect of the incorrect sanitary pad that they've been using. But if we start early, we are able to assist them. And like I said, those are the primary benefits, is that the pad does not leak. Another benefit is that it helps with absorbing bacteria, and that we can explain because we know that when blood sits, after 2-3 hours, fungus starts to develop. It also reduces smell, It gives women comfort. It is not made out of products that contains byproducts such as dioxin. And I've mentioned what dioxin does to a person, particularly women. Now, looking at the secondary benefits that I would discuss as we go on with product training. But what you need to make women understand is that as a distributor, you have a full understanding of how women are being disadvantaged because of how they are anatomically structured. Because of that, the incorrect use of sanitary napkin has increased our risk of cancer, has increased our risk of miscarriages, has increased our risk of abdominal pains, has increased our risk of all these things that happen when we are on a menstrual period. Now, we have a sanitary napkin that can help reverse and even prevent further diseases in our bodies. And the greatest benefit for those that are wearing panty liners is that you are increasing, or the anion, the far infrared and the magnetic energy help with increasing the acidity of the vaginal secretion, and therefore continually destroying any bacteria that could be in the vaginal lining. There are women who have actually, or who have unfortunately been having unfaithful partners who have brought STDs, but they have found that the rate of infection has dropped after using the panty liners. Of course, it is not a method of treating STDs, but what they have found is that the rate of reinfections are quite lower and they're able to recover. We always encourage, either using a condom if you know that your partner is unfaithful, but those are some of the benefits. But then again, like I said, I know with myself in particular, when I started using the panty liners, I experienced terrible abdominal pains for the first 3 days. And like I said, vaginal discharge was different. And after 3 days, it was completely different. And until today, I have never looked back. And as Maggie said, you need to use the product. Had I not used the product, I would not have been able to counsel people who come and say, this is what I'm experiencing. Is this right? What am I supposed to do? So using the product will also help you to become a product expert. But the most important thing, the most important message that you need to carry out there is that women need to change the menstrual pad that they're using, because it has put us at a risk of many of the gynecological issues that we have. And that's purely because of mass production. It's because of these byproducts. It's because of the chemical composition of the sanitary pads that are available in the market. I'm not sure if there are any questions at the moment.
Sure, Doc, I am listening attentively. I always say to you, there's something about the way you speak, that commands me just to listen. And you just put it so beautifully. And I think what I liked is that you said, make it simple for people to understand. And you've just done that. So I'm not sure, because I don't see any questions. I'm going to take it is because you just made it so simple. I'm just seeing comments that it's a wonderful presentation. The idea behind this was to educate, not just to have this wonderful presentation, but to really equip each and every one of us as distributors to have the confidence to speak about your product and to say, oh, how do the sanitary napkins help with stress relief? Doc, you're going to have to respond to that one.
Okay, so I did mention that it is the anion. So increased levels of anion in the body helps with stress relief.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, it's a molecule that we lack in our bodies, and it's purely because of the environment that we live in. If you were to go and live in a forest, you'll never have stress. I've always said, people who go on camp or people who go, like hiking and so forth, they come back completely different. And that's because they have upped their levels of an ion. It's purely that. So it's not the pad that relieves stress, but it is when an ion gets absorbed into your body.
Which makes it the pad, because if you had any other pad, it would not happen.
So I'll tell you why I say it's not the pad. I'll tell you why I say it's not the pad, because we make the pad look like the magic. And if you say to someone, this pad is going to relieve your stress, they're going to think that sounds crazy. But
So
if you say the pad,
the iron in the pad.
Yeah, the pad has a molecule called anion, and the anion, once it gets absorbed into the body, it is able to relieve stress, to reduce the level of stress in the body.
And thanks, Doc. There was also another video that I listened to that you were doing as well on this. And a question was asked. I don't know where this comes from, but a question was asked that for the panty liners. And I remember when I was watching something as well, and I thought, oops, I didn't do this, that you must wet it to activate the strip. And I thought, oops, I wasn't doing this. Is that what we need to do? Is that a special instruction on how to get the pad to, the anions on the panty liner itself? Because I believe that they said that on the pad, when you're on your periods, you don't have to, because the blood will wet it. But on your panty liners, you need to put a few drops. Is that, can you explain the science behind that?
That's not
the myth. Old wives' tales.
That's not, yeah, it's a myth. So here's the thing. I mean, that panty liner, there is some absorption level. It will absorb that water, but an ion would get released as soon as there is friction, right? And the second method will be water. So that's why when we started, there were people who would take the strip and put it in water. That's also a mechanism of releasing the anion from the strip.
Okay.
And they would drink that water. But when you're using the panty liner, please do not. I spoke about, how we are anatomically structured. As soon as there's contact between, your vulva and the anion, it gets automatically released.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
and
so there's absolutely no need to wet the panty liner, please.
You also warned against what you just said about putting the strip in the water and drinking it. You warned against that. Yeah. In case you just heard that now and said, oopsie, I'm going to do that. You said something about the fur, like when you remove the strip, not everything comes off. So you don't want to drink that because it's not good for your lungs. So don't go removing the strip from the pad and putting it in water and drinking it. That's where the alkaline cup comes in, and Doctor will talk about that one some other day. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, look, the pad was not made for that, and that's why you shouldn't do that. And those are some of the reasons why people look at us and think, oh goodness, why would I do something like that? But of course, if someone is sick, even if you were to tell them that you can drink your own urine, which by the way, you can drink it when you are sick, but don't do that. But even if somebody was to tell you, this is what you need to do. If you are sick, you will definitely do that. And saying that, I don't want to take away the fact that there are people, now I'm going to get a little bit more technical, but there could be a placebo effect, yes. But I don't want to take away, from the fact that there are people who have experienced some benefits. But if we are to do our business proper, we have the right product for that, and that is the alkaline cup. If someone wants an iron, they can use the alkaline cup. They can just use the panty liner. If it's a gent, they can wear it under their feet, and then ladies obviously can wear the panty liner on a daily basis.
Sorry, Doc, you just touched on something that I want you to expand on a bit. They can put under their feet. Now, what is that for? Why would I be wanting to put a panty liner in my shoe?
Okay, so that will take us to a concept called reflexology.
All right.
Yeah, it will take us back to a concept called reflexology. So what reflexology is also alternative healing. It's being used to treat certain illnesses, certain conditions, and also just to improve your health, your sleep. I've seen it work miraculously. So with that, like I'm saying, it's also taken from the concept of reflexology, that you do have absorption of the anion, and under your feet, different body parts are found under your feet. So say, for example, if someone has a heart condition, the reflexologist will locate where the heart is, and they will start manipulating that area just to help improve your heart condition. If you're suffering from body pain, they will locate that under your feet. If you are suffering from sleep issues, they can locate that under your feet. So that is from the concept of reflexology.
Okay, so it's also, so if I put
the
the
anion
pad,
also gets absorbed into your body. Yeah.
all right.
But
Okay.
right where the different parts of the body are represented. But then again, there is a product specifically for that. And that
In
is
language.
the shoe. Yes.
What is that
It's
one?
the energy shoe. It's the energy shoe.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So the ways of, I think Black people have to be applauded for their creativity.
Wow.
just like individuals will take a cough mixture at high quantities to produce some effect.
All right, let's not go there. All right. So there's another question, Doc, that says, so the pads, I can put water, but not the panty liner. She's saying not at all.
Nothing. No water. Nothing. No water. Just wear it and that's it. No water, no magic, nothing. Nothing, please. As dry as it is. As soon as there's contact, the anion gets released.
Awesome. Doc, that has been very insightful. I see people say they are empowered. I saw something also very interesting. I'm new in the house, but now I've learned a lot. My daughter's almost 10, hasn't started their periods. I will definitely get this product for her. And I'm going to help other girls as well. That is what this is all about. And since we are in this for business, once you have just understood that and captured that, there is no reason why every month, as part of your maintenance order, you do not have a pack of these pads, whether you are a gent or you are a lady, because if you're a gent, someone, a lady in your life who needs this. And one thing you must appreciate about our business as well, that I want each and every one us to appreciate, we are in a service business. This is also about servanthood. It's also, when you're in this business and you're saying, I can't sell a product, focus on sharing the product. And see, after now you know what the pad does. Somebody complains to you about menstrual pains. Don't say, I want to sell this product to you. Just say, please try this out. Then you have just earned yourself a regular customer. So if you also get into the business of having these all the time, it must be part of your maintenance order. Remember, your maintenance order also gives you 4.5%. And if you appreciate the power of that, and in your team, you are promoting that, let us get at least 30 PVs each, and we are including these pads in there, you are just unlocking income into your business that could actually add up. As if you've seen some of the presentation that I did on Sunday, that is one bonus that could actually get you to have a regular monthly income that, if done properly, you could see yourself getting anything from 50,000 to 100,000 to whatever every month, just from the maintenance. So appreciate this and include that. Okay, Doc, that is it from me on that part. People, we are an hour and a half into this, and I appreciate what this is. If you absolutely have to go, we understand, Doc, but do you have the time to go on to the green tea because we did promise to.
I'm gonna, I'm looking at my time as well. I need to be done by 9:30. Again, talking about conversations and customers, your customer is there. They're just waiting for you to come and give them the right information. That's all. Our success is driven by the correct information that we give to our customers. Be passionate, want to help people. Money follows purpose. In this business, you have to be purposeful. I mean, Maggie is pro making money. I'm very, very, very polite when it comes to that aspect of the business. I'm just like, I want to make money, but I want to help people, but that's just who I am. But you need to be purposeful. You need to make it a decision, and you need to be purposeful. When I look at people who have left the business, and I start wondering, what was their purpose, by the way? If your purpose was to make money, there is a vehicle to help you make money. If your purpose was to help people or was to help address health issues, you should still be making money. The products are working. If you understand the benefits of the products and you don't sell stuff that's not there, don't talk about secondary benefits. Just stick to, this is what the pad does, this is what the pad has, and this is how it can help you. And this is why you need to stop using the sanitary pad that you've been using. It's there, factual. I've always made myself available. If you have a challenging customer, you can give me a ring. I'll make my other number available. You can give me a call. I can take you through, these, I always try to make things as simple as possible. But money follows purpose. I purposefully went into Longreach and I said my goal is to help people understand preventative care. And that's what I have driven. And that's what has made me money in this business. And that's why I'm still here today. And I'm going to be here for the long haul. And there are people who've been here to make money. And that's why they're still here today. And their goal was, I understand this vehicle. And I know through this vehicle, I can help the next men and women to make money, to be emancipated financially. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to sell this business. I'm going to sell this idea to them or present this opportunity to them and help them understand how they can use this opportunity to escape their poverty. So be purposeful about being in this business. Don't wake up every morning and just be mediocre. Be purposeful. Go and talk to people. Talk to your neighbors about the product, even if they don't buy it. The more and more you talk about it, the more and more you will grow confident. And you will find your daily or your faithful customers. And that's what this business is all about. Let me quickly talk about the tea. Again, like I'm saying, sometimes I always have to be like, I'm not the prophet of doom, but I know what's going on out there. I really know. Just go to the oncology ward and you will see. I've lost friends. It's bad. And it's not just about cancer. And I really don't know. And I not that I don't know, but I know I lost a very close friend to cancer. And I said to myself, I'm going to keep preaching this message in her honor. Because we need to have Black people educated. Let me tell you something. I was talking to you about a close relative or close family friend that I've had to take through this journey. And I had to sit and talk to a colleague and say, no, but you can't talk to the patient like that. You can't say that. And the issue was Black people do not take responsibility for their own health. The conversation was white people take responsibility for their own health. If they've got a tiny pain, they will go to the doctor. If they've got this symptom, they will go to the doctor. But Black people will just hang around and they'll go to the hospital and there's in-service and they just don't go back, and they go back home, they pray, they do all sorts of things and they take this and that. And that was the conversation that was going on. But the thing is, I needed to protect a close family friend. But that's the honest truth. That's how things are with us. We are not educated when it comes to health matters. We carry on eating the same food. We carry on drinking the same stuff, and why are we surprised that we are now sharing diseases such as cancer with other races? It's because we have adopted their lifestyles. Our ancestors never ate certain types of food. Those were limited to certain races. But now we share in the diseases that they have purely because we have adopted their lifestyle. Now, there is a tea called green tea, or otherwise known as the cleansing tea. What I found, doing my research, is that green tea has great anti-carcinogenic properties or anti-cancer properties. And that is in its ability to remove the free radicals that are in our bodies. So just as much as I spoke about an iron and how we have it in our bodies, and we can also breathe an iron because it is in the atmosphere, the same is the case with these chemicals that are deadly. Smoking, even secondary smoking, can lead to certain types of cancers, but there are also pollutants that have been found to cause cancer. Something as simple as the toothpaste that we are using. Sorry about that. The toothpaste that we are using, the other toothpaste, not the Longridge, that have carcinogenic properties. Something as simple as that. And that's why we have oral cancers or mouth cancers. Now, when it comes to free radicals, they due to air pollution, but they also are a byproduct of normal metabolism. So when the body breaks down, could either be food or medication, in particular, people who are taking medication. Now, when the body breaks down, these could be nutrients, medication into smaller properties. There's a byproduct. Remember I said dioxin is a byproduct? For lack of a better word, those who are quite knowledgeable in the terminology as one. So free radicals are byproducts, are the things that remain. Now, when these byproducts called free radicals remain in the body, what they do is they start affecting the DNA of certain cells. So remember, the cells multiply and every cell has a DNA. Now, if a free radical attaches itself and it starts affecting or manipulating the DNA of the cell, we now start having abnormal cell division. And that's how cancer starts to develop. It's when the DNA of the cell has changed, and it can be traced back to free radicals. Now, for you or for your body to get rid of these free radicals, you need to take an antioxidant. You can get supplements, or you can eat food that are high in antioxidants. But I've done a lot of research into green tea, and green tea has been found to have high antioxidant, is a high antioxidant. About 2 to 3 cups of green tea daily will give you enough antioxidant. That means that if there are any free radicals in your body, also people who go for x-rays, I'm just talking about the risk factors of cancer, is that once you take green tea, it is able to cleanse your body of these toxins and to balance, the free radicals that are in the body. Once there is no balance, we are at risk of diseases. And it's not just cancer. There are other degenerative diseases that we could get, dementia, eye problems, as a result of the free radicals. So you can imagine that we now live in a world where we are all at risk. You can't say, well, the air that I breathe is clean. It's impossible, not in the world that we live in. I mean, we're talking about global warming that affects all of us. You eat food, you take medication. And that is why it's highly encouraged that if you are taking chronic medication, you have to make sure that you take an antioxidant, just so that it can get rid of those free radicals that affect the DNA of the cell. Green tea does not only help in terms of detoxifying the body, but it's also caffeine free. There are some green teas actually in the market that have caffeine, but the long reach green tea does not have caffeine. It can also help with constipation as well as weight loss by fast tracking your metabolism. But what I want to drive home tonight is that make sure that you have green tea in your house. Make sure that everyone that you know takes green tea. I'm not saying you're going to get cancer, but I'm just saying I made a promise to myself after I lost a very close friend that I'm going to go out there and start teaching Black people about preventative care, in particular when it comes to issues such as life-threatening diseases such as cancer, something that can be preventable. Of course, I also need to caution that it's not all types of cancer that green tea will help prevent, but most cancers, green tea will help prevent them. We also have pink tea that also is effective in preventing certain types of cancer. So if you think about it, you need to have both green and the pink tea. If you love yourself, if you love your family, you should at least, each and every one of you should be having at least 2 cups of green tea. You can reuse that one tea bag twice. You can have the first cup and then the second cup. At least you've had 2 cups of green tea. If you can have 3, 4, even better. Research was conducted in Japan. I've reported on this. Always they looked at men who took green tea, and what they found was that men who took green tea, at least 3 to 4 cups of green tea daily, on average, they lived 8 years longer than those who did not take green tea. So it's not just about preventing cancer, but it's also for improving your overall immune system. It's about getting rid of toxins that are in your body. So again, you are a distributor who has access to these amazing products. All you need to do is to just go out there and share the information with people. That's my story for today.
Wow. So you know, I've heard people talking about free radicals. Ne? I've heard people talking about antioxidants, and I'm thinking, okay, right, so what? But today, maybe it's because I'm listening attentively. And you've just made it so it just makes sense to me now. I remember when I spoke to you about the green tea. You said, when you talk about the green tea, and I said, green tea. You said, Maggie, it's about the risk factors. And wow, and I am just so empowered. I am out there, and people, when Dr. Lesego said, your home must have green tea, what she didn't emphasize was the long rich green tea. You know, don't go to Pick and Pay now, go buy the green tea, you know, not that it doesn't
it might have caffeine and other.
Exactly. Yeah. But also remember, Dr. Lesego said Maggie is all about money. Ne? Remember, you are also in business. You know, the wisdom in this business is redirecting your funds, not taking your money to Pick and Pay, not taking your money. Yes, maybe that green tea does the same thing, but you taking it there, you are enriching the Ackermans. But you taking it to Long Ridge, you are enriching you and the people around you, and you get the beautiful health benefits because all our products are also tested and multi-tested and multi-tested. I saw many ISO what standards on these products. So having said that, guys, this is it that we've got for you today. Next time we have our training session with Dr. Lesego again, you will most certainly be invited. Doc, someone says someone is on fire. Yes, and they are proud to have partnered with Longreach and keep flying the flag. And thank you so much for your time and for staying until the end. Everyone, we appreciate you. You appreciate your time. If you want the recording, I will share it. I'll put it on YouTube and share it with Dr. Lesego and Vivian, and I'm sure it will get to you somehow. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a splendid. Oh, by the way, just to get an indication, what else would you like Doc to talk about when we bring her on next time? Show us there, and then we will get her to talk about that. I know she's got the cup in line, but let's just see what the demand is as well, and then that will guide our next session. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'll be looking in the chat to see if people have got suggestions.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, Maggie, thank you once again. You're such a fresh breath of energy, and we're so blessed and lucky to have you in the business. Particularly myself, having you as a business partner is, I'm quite blessed, and it's my prayer that we will be able to take, you know, the cycle of the business further and help individuals to soar. You know, I think we're giving you the best of both, you know, business skills as well as product knowledge. So there is absolutely no reason to fail in this business. I wish you all a good night and looking forward to seeing you again next week. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks, Doc. Good night, everyone.